Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, and usually that's several times per week. We try to do that anyway. My schedule is a little crazy, but always room for new clients. If that's you, if you're looking for help with mental, emotional balances, life, business, relationship coaching, all points in between, would love to be a benefit to you in that way and make that connection in a way that sticks for you, gets you to a good place, and all that good stuff. In any event, would love to do that and connect with you. A couple ways to do that. You can reach out at PO Perception on Twitter or in the About Me YouTube section. Either way will get you in contact with me or members of my team, and we can go from there. This topic, actually, the next two audios are about toxic parents. And a toxic parent is a person who, for the most part, generally, doesn't necessarily belong in the position of parent, but they have the biology to be able to be one. The first thing is they are hypocrites. And so what happens is what they say and what they do don't match. And this is one of the big problems with parents who maybe are emotionally not mature enough for the responsibility of parenthood, or they're struggling because they're trying to vicariously live through their children or anything else. But hypocritical parents usually exist because what they want out of life and what they have for life is at odds with each other, and the bitterness and anger and angst and frustration around that becomes too much for many of them to deal with. It doesn't necessarily mean, and again, when we say toxic parents, doesn't mean they're bad people. It means they haven't worked through their wounds yet in a way that makes sense for them. Next thing is they don't really care about how their children feel. They don't really actually care many times about how anybody feels because they're so stuck in the past internal narrative that they are struggling consistently, almost constantly, to get to a place that's healthy, get to a place that's good for them, that's smart for them, that leads them in a direction they want to go. And ultimately, that becomes problematic for a number of reasons. When a person doesn't get what they want, when a person doesn't get what they need, when a person doesn't get what they perceive that they need, even if it's really not a need, then they will, ultimately try to control situations, which is the next thing. A toxic parent is most often controlling because they care more about the narrative than the emotion of the person that's having a narrative situation. So caring at that level is more about understanding the value of knowing where they are, of knowing what's important to them, but not necessarily considering how it's affecting other people. They also often do not initiate independence in their children or initiate teaching of independent thought or non-group thinking. That is, parent is more concerned in the majority of these situations with making sure that their child is a reflection of them, and thereby only wants the opinions or views of their child to coincide with what they think the world should be in order to suit them. And a lot of times these individuals don't recognize, or completely understand in a way that makes sense how to connect on a deeper level, or on a level that is, healthy, smart, or intelligent. These individuals are not necessarily looking at the long-term value in their relationships, thereby creating relationships where a non-independent child ultimately becomes someone they resent as an adult or as a teenager, because they want the level of independence, but they also want a person to think like them, act like them, and be like them without encouraging or embracing the individuality of the child that they have co-created. And so that becomes problematic for a number of reasons. When we begin to understand the value of knowing how to do that and or have that reality there, we ultimately are, getting to a healthy, meaningful, and different level of place, and, kind of getting things through, at least in a meaningful direction for that young person. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.